Hi everyone. So we're live again, and yeah, it's been a while. A couple of weeks ago, when I wanted to do the other live session, I got a bit of a theme that I got through about actually the obsession a lot of people have concerning misfortune. But in the meantime, within a very, very short time span, within a very short period, hi, I see someone is attending. I don't know who you are. I can't see it, but welcome anyway. But within such a short time span, a lot of dynamics have happened in the meantime, which makes that even deeper layers were added to the information that I want to share with you guys. And yeah, a lot is happening in the world, collectively as well as individually. And as I said before, a lot of things have happened in the meantime as to why the topic that I'm going to speak about is more, so to say, broader topic. It has a broader perspective, and still all these subjects that I'm speaking about since weeks, but actually that I've been doing for years, are all part of this bigger theme. But apparently it was now the right time, the right moment to speak more directly about this theme with all these deeper layers involved. Most people that have attended my live sessions or other things about me, or that know me one way or another, know that when I'm doing when I'm creating a video, either live or pre-recorded, I'm not planning everything into detail. I do know globally what I'm going to speak about, what the theme is, what the energy is about, but I let it all unfold within the moment, because that is what is meant to be. So the information that that is getting across is the right information at that particular moment, in these particular circumstances, for those for that audience who is watching it, listening to it, and gets the information that I'm expressing. I also want to emphasize that it also might be that it doesn't resonate with you when you watch these videos at that very moment. That could be the first time you see a particular video and get particular information that I'm getting across, that it doesn't resonate with you at that particular moment because it wasn't maybe only part or maybe entirely the information that you needed at that particular moment, or maybe later when you rewatch it, then it might be that you don't resonate with that information. But at the same time, it could also be that it's only a part or a fraction or only the essence of energetically that was meant for you to connect with. So I also want to emphasize that. What I do also want to get across is that everything that I do, and this is also what I'm going to speak about, what I'm going to explain more in detail also with other topics, is that everything I do or express within these moments of, communicating with the audience is already written. It is already pre-created in, the universal energy, so to say, within source, if you want to call it that way. So, it doesn't really make sense that if you don't resonate with it for some particular reason, to say, and I'm going to give an example. There are a lot of people that either asked by me, or a lot of the times not even asked by me, give me advice about how I should run my business or how I should go about my master plan, which came from a vision that I had about 16 years ago. So there's nothing to, steer in it in a way that is non-beneficial, because it was just meant to be that way, and I just only perceived what was going to happen in the future, and I was just, following my path and doing my task in it and fulfilling my own specific, particular life purpose. And when people are constantly telling me you should do this, you should do that, that doesn't at all resonate with that cause, with my fulfilling of my particular specific life purpose. And it's only to, get across what they think as an expert in certain areas that I should do, while they can't even comprehend what it is about that they speak to me to, or about the matter behind what is happening. It really doesn't make sense to constantly listen to it. And I also want to tell other people that have their specific unique mission, their unique life purpose to fulfill, please be aware of that. And I'm really speaking about, I'm not speaking about, people that really want to support you and contribute to you succeeding in your life and fulfilling your mission, your specific life purpose. I'm always also open for feedback and information that I didn't have yet. But it's different from when people just want to push their thoughts on you because they think they have the solution, while they didn't even explore or even dive a bit deeper into who they have in front of them, what the situation is all about, what the deeper matter is that lies behind it, etc. And that is also what I'm going to speak about during this live session. Okay, so the theme divine partnership, as a lot of people call it, is quite, in some ways, quite quote unquote controversial. And that is exactly what I've told you guys that I am doing and that I would do, is paying attention, giving attention to matters, themes, subjects that are considered taboo or controversial to a lot of people, maybe even the collective. And I do that because it is very important that things are given attention to, so that clarity can come to the surface and things can be resolved and healed. It is not because I feel like, yeah, I just want to, you know, thwart people or something. No, it's part of my task, and I do it in a loving way. I love to do it. I'm not always happy with it, but it's, again, part of my task. So I do it because it makes that I fulfill my specific life purpose. And I know that there are others who have that as well. We have exchanged these things, others that also have specific tasks that they are not necessarily happy with or feel amazing about, but they know they just have to, and they can't do otherwise, such as I can't do otherwise, because it just is. It's just part of what we are here for. So it does happen. Anyway, I have said in more of my previous videos, I've shared quite something with you about the dynamics that have been going on, especially the last years that I have experienced in my life. A lot of strange dynamics that I haven't experienced in that way before, and that I didn't know before. In the behavior, in how people treat me, in how they talk to me, in how they go about my life and what I'm doing, and that they have opinions about it that aren't necessarily that nice and kind and empathetic. Again, I haven't experienced it that severely before, and again, especially since Ruud and I, my partner, met each other in real life. And I say in real life because I want to tell you guys something. I want to share something with you guys. I have been knowing all along, since I was a little child, who and what I am. I have always known that I am source, or part of source, whatever you want to call it. I have never been unaware of who or what I am intrinsically, even as a child. But I have always known clearly. I've never forgotten, in the meantime, who or what I am. But as many of you might also experience, that there are a lot of paradigms, there are a lot of beliefs, collective beliefs of a lot of other people that want to make you believe, because they experience something else in life, that they really want to make you believe that you are not who or what you are, and that you are something else, and that you should behave differently because you should, quote unquote, act normal, be, quote unquote, normal, and not that, I would say, specific. Because you should just behave and you should just adjust to the common denominator, because that is what people know, and that's the only thing that is right according to them. I have never understood that. I've never understood the fierceness of people declaring such things. And I've always said, just because you don't see or experience, hear, feel, whatever you want to call it, certain things or some matter in life, in all that is, in the universe, whatever you want to call it, doesn't mean it isn't there or that it is impossible. And I'm really fed up after decades constantly hearing people that actually you aren't possible. I am not possible, and a lot of beings along with me shouldn't actually exist because it is impossible. It is impossible who they are, it is impossible what they do, it is impossible what they think. It's all an illusion. And then I think, well, if we are here and we are doing this and we are making things happen and we are creating things 24/7, time after time, and again and again and again, and a lot of confirmations about it, and a lot of how do you say it, people experiencing it, a lot of witnesses in these dynamics and circumstances, how can you ever cling to, the nonsense that things aren't possible or that it just isn't true? And I'm really fed up of all the lies that people make up about anyone. And I'll speak about myself. Time and again I hear from other people that are close to me, that other people they know are making up things about me and about us that I really wonder, how could you ever make these things up? Where do you get the fantasy from to make these things up about me or about us or about what I do, what we do, or about what, about the entire matter behind it, about the essence? How is it possible to just downright, without any blink of an eye, without any shame, just make things up constantly that are totally contrary to what the actual facts are? How is that possible? And then, even year after year, how is that possible? How can people just downright make up lies about anything and anyone without a blink of an eye, and just, and coming with their judgments all the time? It's crazy. It's insane. It really is. And I'm not doing that. I'm not just making up all kinds of things about people, their lives, and what they're doing, and then just telling other people, and and giving my opinion about it, and attacking these people for nothing. Again, I want to emphasize that it started before Ruth and I met each other in real life, but it got worse and worse and worse when we got together. And that is part of what you might experience when you're in what people call divine partnership or a divine union. What I want to add to that I've known all along since I was a little child, who and what I am, is that I also have always known that I was part of, you can call it a duo, or that I had a what people call a soul partner, a soulmate, or whatever you want to call it. I've known that also all along as a child. And I've always had respect and appreciated those couples that I saw that were lovingly together and did everything together, etc. I didn't have any judgment about it or made up any fantasy stories about it, or about their individual life even. Why should I? And I have always had, space and empathy for, that all kinds of things could be true in people's lives and could happen about certain dynamics, etc. Who am I to know what happens in someone's private life when I'm not there 24/7? And I don't want to either. I do want to have empathy for them, and I do want to have space for people to be who they are, and to make it be shown what the truth is behind any matter. But I don't have the ambition, I've never had, to make up all kinds of stories about anything or anyone and then judge them in a negative way. I only do that when things are literally, directly, affecting me and my life. And that is what I draw conclusions from. And I stick to the facts of the dynamics and what is happening and the behavior of people that I see, that I experience, as much as possible. Okay, so divine partnership, what I want to tell about it is that it's very important to realize, because that is what happens a lot, and that is also what I've known before I even knew who I was connected with, or that I was connected with a particular someone. Because when I knew, I actually didn't know if this individual was actually alive or here in physical form. I didn't know. And for a long time I felt like a widow. There was one friend of mine, a woman that I know since high school, that has always understood how I feel and never was like, oh, that's strange, why should you make things up like that. No, she really understood what I was going through. And actually the people that were in my direct surroundings, my family, my friends, the people who loved me, who cared for me, and the other way around, have always said, oh, Melody, we really want you to find your specific someone, because they always, they wished me the best, and they always felt like there's someone special for you and you will find them. And they were always, busy with that they really wanted me to be happy and to find that special someone. Although I wasn't necessarily lonely in that particular way, but people just knew. So people surrounding me just actually that were close to me actually always knew. And I want to share this with you guys because I think that's very special, and I really want to I really want to give that attention, and I'm really happy and grateful for these beings that were in my life, and a lot of them still are. Yet I have been alone, living on my own, for the biggest part of my adolescent and adult life. And that is what I want to tell something about, because that is a tendency. These are dynamics that get bigger and bigger throughout the last years. Is that a lot of people romanticize what people call divine partnership a lot. I've never done that when I knew about this concept, about this term, about this, I've never romanticized it like in fairy tales, etc. And of course there is a quote-unquote fairy tale thing about it, but that the only reason that is because fairy tales are often, a reflection of real life. That's the only reason. But a lot of people romanticize it a lot. And so, as I said before, the biggest part of my adolescence and adult life I have been and lived on my own. And I want to emphasize, I'm not a victim. I never have been. Neither are others that are of a certain fabric, I could call it. And we are no martyrs. I'm no martyr either. I do find it very important to, give attention to certain things, themes, and matter in life, because as I said before, then it can be healed and things can be resolved. And it's very important to express what's going on and how you feel, also when you feel sad, lonely, quote-unquote bad about things, about circumstances, and when you feel quote-unquote abandoned in certain situations or dynamics. I do that as well, but I don't stick to victimhood or martyrdom, because that is very non-beneficial, because when you do that, you will never reach any beneficial result. Things won't ever resolve in your life, and things will never be healed. Because, and I must say, martyrdom is very much propagandized since the existence of humanity. You can even look at the story, the matter behind, that we all know Christ, Jesus Christ, instead of looking at what really the essence of what was happening and what is happening and what is actually the information behind it. The martyrdom of this being or energy is very much propagandized, and that is very non-beneficial. It keeps people in unawareness, unconsciousness, in a small in martyrdom. That's the thing. And I don't say that everyone does this, because there are a lot of beings, a lot of people, Christians and non-Christians, that do get the real matter behind it. But there are also a lot of lies that are told surrounding this matter. I really want to just share it, bring it across, do with it whatever you want yourself, or whatever is the intention behind what you should do with this information. But what, especially since I'm together with Ruth, there are quite some, especially women, and especially from a certain age, 50 plus, but also younger women, but mainly women from, Ruth's generation, that are trying to make me feel bad about myself, but I will never intrinsically feel bad about myself, because I just know who and what I am. So people can't mislead me and make me feel bad about who I actually intrinsically in the essence am, because all the other things they are trying to make me believe are downright lies. And I know that. I've been prepared for this for many years, actually, all along. That is the wonderful thing about it. But there are women, but also men, but mainly women. And first I will begin with the non-harmful dynamics. Those who mean well and don't mean bad, and that don't want to harm me or us. But they feel like, yeah, you guys are with the two of you and you have each other, and therefore they might think, and they have a story about, a romanticized story about being together. And I must confess, it is a wonderful thing that we are together, because it is just what is meant to be, and it is pure in the essence and in all ways, so there's nothing wrong about it. Yet a lot of people, mainly women, romanticize it too much, and they think that, yes, but you guys are together, so I am having a hard time being alone. That's what they feel or think. But you at least have each other. But what they don't understand, and what I'm emphasizing again and again towards them, not in a judgeful way, but that I just want them to know and realize, also for when they find their partner, their specific partner that they are meant to be with, that it's not such a romanticized thing at all. We are together because it was meant to be like that. We have a greater task that we have to, realize together, such as we have had individually for the biggest part of our lives until now, but also, a connected task. And we also have a shared task, and that is very big. And because of the scale of that, what a lot of people don't realize at all is that the challenges we got and get shortly before we met each other, and since we met each other, and after we came together as partners, as a union, so to say, as a lot of people call it, and they understand, is that these challenges are even bigger than we have had and experienced before that. So what a lot of people don't understand or can't comprehend at all is that since we got together, we have had major challenges in our lives that a lot of people can't even cope with, even to hear about, because we experienced that all along, let go to experience it themselves. So it is not true that because we are together, we are having less of a hard time. Actually, we have even harder time than when we were not in certain cases. It's also, of course, that it isn't beneficial to be apart from each other when you need to be together. That is also very hard, and it's a very big challenge, and that is also what I want to bring across, and what I tell these ladies time and again. I know exactly what it is to be alone, to live alone, to have to do a lot on your own and alone for many years. But a lot of people really don't know that at all from me. They don't realize that, especially when they have only met me when Ruud and I were already together. They don't know and understand what I have been through before Ruud and I came together as well. They don't know that I know as no other what it is like to be alone. So that I know exactly what they could go through at particular moments. And a lot of the time it is even that I have been more alone in my life than most other people have. And again, I'm not, being a victim about it, because why should I? I've had wonderful, great times. And also, I've also felt very alone. And there's something I want to share about the last couple of weeks that most people don't know about yet. But I've had a cat for 13 years. Since a kitten, she was with me. Her name is Ster, which means star in English. She has been with me all along. Also, all these years when I was living alone, when I was alone. And I already experienced that, and I already felt that and expressed that in some ways. But in hindsight, I really want to share with you guys, she was really a guardian angel of mine that was manifested in physical form. So I'm really very grateful and happy that I got to experience my, what people call guardian angel in real life, with me for 13 years. She has been with me far before Ruud and I met each other. And I won't get into detail and elaborate about what she has meant for me in my life and what I have experienced with her and through her within these years. And if people want to know, then definitely ask me, because I would love to share. And actually everyone who has met her, who only saw her, has expressed that she is very special. But last week, unfortunately, she had to leave us in physical form. And it was a very hard time. For her, of course. For me, for Ruud, for my mother, for those who really... There weren't many people involved in the process in that period, the last days of her life, but it was really very intensive. And after that, when she passed, and I'm really very grateful, fortunately it went in a very wonderful way that I could never have imagined or wished for in that particular way, because she passed within my arms. And when she got out her last sighs, she really literally directly, energetically went into my heart. And that is very special, because what I want to tell you guys is that in these years she has kept and guarded a great part of my personal potential and creative energies that weren't allowed to be expressed and utilized before, because it just wasn't the right time yet. So she kept and guarded that for me, and then she released it so I can now also utilize that potential. And I'm very sad in human experiences about that she went in physical form, but she's everywhere. She can now really come along with us anywhere, and then we don't have to leave her behind anymore. But since Ruud and I met each other and that we are together, she also has meant a lot for him, but also for others. And these last couple of days of her life were really very interesting, and we got a lot of energetic or source information through within these days, very, very clearly and directly, in such a way that we have never even experienced before, although I have always very clearly gotten information from source. This was, next level as well. So I was and am still sad about it, but it was really horrible for a couple of days. Ik ben even een live video aan het opnemen, maar ik ben even een live video aan het opnemen op Facebook. We're meeting some people that are really dear to us. And just wanted to say hi. So.
We storen nu natuurlijk.
Ik zie jullie graag een ander moment. Tot gauw. Really wonderful. Also this synchronicity, really lovely. Really loving beings that just crossed our path. Who's that? I can't see who you are, but thank you very much for attending, and I'm really happy you're here. Thank you. But it might sound strange or a bit weird, but I've never experienced the last couple of days what I've experienced. Hey, it's my father. Oh my God, wonderful. Oh my God, really. A lot is happening right now. I wasn't able to speak to you before, but I wanted to speak. I'm going to call you afterwards, but I also wanted to share this with you. But afterwards, I really felt very exhausted in a particular way that I have actually never experienced before. And that is because there's a lot more behind it, a lot that's coming along with this matter, because a lot of dynamics and circumstances are being worked through. And it's really a good thing. I also want to share that with you guys. And at the same time, I've never experienced this before. but it is also linked to other circumstances, other situations that we have experienced in our lives recently that are very, very quite heavy, and that a lot of people don't know about. My father knows not about it as well, but a lot of people don't know about, and it is just because lately people aren't, and since years, but especially lately, people aren't asking me how I am doing anymore. And I'm not saying everyone, because there are really, as I said before, and as you have seen as well, there are really loving people surrounding us that do care. But a lot of people really are really busy with things in life that I'm wondering why they are putting so much energy and attention to it, and they don't care about what is happening surrounding them anymore, not even within their own lives, but also with other people. So a lot of people just don't really know what we go through, and for some people it is obvious because you just don't speak each other constantly, but for a lot of people it is just because they just don't ask you, they aren't busy with how you are doing or how you're feeling, while you constantly have to listen to them and be there for them and entertain them, which costs a lot of energy, attention, time, and even money in some ways. But they don't care about your well-being at all. And then people find it strange that they don't know a lot of things while I'm asking them how they are doing, but they don't know about certain things that are happening in my life or what I'm going through. And that is actually what costs me the most energy since the last couple of years, that people constantly feel entitled and take you for granted, and that they feel like they are demanding a lot from you individually, privately, and business-wise as well, professionally. And they feel like you should, give and give and give without something compensating it in return. Or also a lot of business people that ask a lot of money for you without ever what they offer you in return compensating or what you actually need in your process. But it a lot of the times has a lot to do with that they make up that in their own stories that you should be fine. That's it, period. You should be fine. And I'm the one, and I, in this case, is them. I'm the one who needs attention, and you should contact me and you should ask me how I am doing all along. So there's no mutual interaction or something, but you should constantly contact them and ask them how they are doing. And if you don't do that, they feel, they don't like you anymore. They are going to ignore you. They don't contact you anymore. And while they don't even realize that they might haven't ever seen you ever again anymore, because they just don't care. And they don't know what is happening in your life. So it's kind of weird that people, the way people are going about other people and their lives and making things up and demanding a lot of others and feeling entitled to certain how shall I call it, treatments that aren't how to say it, that aren't realistic at all and aren't fair play at all. Okay, so this is the first thing that I wanted to share with you guys about what people call divine partnership, because there are a lot of layers in it, as quite some people also know already, certainly those that are in this process as well, whether they are still on their own or whether they are together with someone that might be the one for them or not at all. There are a lot of people that are stuck in interactions and relationships and dynamics and situations that aren't beneficial at all, but they just, keep it lingering, or that are already together or in these circumstances and are experiencing these processes in a very deep way as well. And please, if you resonate or if you feel like you want to exchange or share something about your experience in this case, then please definitely contact me, contact us, and let's exchange about this and speak about this and what you're going through, because that is also what we do in our practices and with all we do. Our entire master plan is all about this, supporting those, facilitating those who are in processes, light beings, light workers, divine partnerships, divine unions, whatever you want to call it, give it a name, to really connect with their own core and with source, with all that is, in a very clear and pure way, so that everything that doesn't belong can fall away, and that, again, as I said, things can be resolved and healed and change and be transmute for the better, for these individuals themselves, for you, for us ourselves, but also for us together, because what eventually is the goal and the intention for many of us is indeed still creating what people call heaven on earth. And it's already there if you just, want to see it, want to look at it, and want to let it unfold and evolve, and it really does matter to you. And I would say let all those others who don't really care and really actually want to destroy that, because that is what we experience a lot. Again, since Ruth and I are together, there are a lot of people a lot of energies, a lot of entities as well, parties that want to destroy things, but we won't ever let them because it is not possible. But they are there, those who actively want to destroy. And I'm going to be very blunt about this. Some of them are, for example, especially ex-partners of Ruth. And I'm speaking of those who he has children with. Others, no problem at all. Previous partners of mine that I still have contact with for some reason or another, no problem. But those, and we see that a lot, so that is why I'm expressing this. Those who have children with other ladies, a lot of the times, and I don't really understand these dynamics, but a lot of times these women feel like, and it could be men as well, so the other way around, feel like that when they have a child or children with someone, they can always and forever just feel entitled and demand things from this being for the rest of their lives. So they feel like they are entitled to thwart their life, them to blackmail them even after 20 years. For God's sake, get a life, go along with your own life, and to just destroy everything and anything that comes on their path, on their way, and just take everything that is coming on their way that they can cling to destroy other people, including the lives of their own children. So what kind of a mother are you then? They don't care at all. They don't care about their children, and it's not about their children. It's about being just, getting what they want, what they actually don't want at all, but just to destroy. And that is something that I and we have experienced for the last years, but we will always thrive because we are on higher frequencies, so they will never be able to get to us and destroy the essence. They never will. They won't even detect us in certain ways because they can't. They just are unable to detect because we are coming from pure intentions and they're not, so they won't ever detect these frequencies. But I also want to make clear to those who are experiencing this and going through this, through these circumstances, through these dynamics, and I know there are a lot of you, that we are in this together, and that we are doing this together, and that we are here for each other to make beneficial things happen, to transmute things for the better, again, to resolve things and to heal things. Because there are a lot of victims in these circumstances, a lot of children as well. And what I experience is that people are fed up with it, are done with it, and also with all the authorities, quote unquote authorities, the governments and other organizations and parties that know all about it, but do as if they don't know and are playing innocent while they're not. On the contrary, people are fed up with it. They've had enough of it. And eventually, what is in every story, in every movie, but also in real life, in the end, pureness and what people call light will always prevail. And that is what we're doing. That is what we're doing together, and that is what is happening. So again, this was part 1 because this is a topic that a lot of people are speaking about, that a lot of people want information about, that goes very deep, that has a lot of layers. So this will be continued. And apparently this was the right time, this was the moment. Because I've known all along for many, many years that I would be speaking about these topics, but apparently it wasn't the right time yet. For all those who connect with us, for all those who resonate, thank you very much, and for being connected. And I'm really happy and grateful about this, and we're gonna make it happen together in a good way. So thank you. Thank you for attending as well, and See you next time. Bye.